everyone, welcome to what I'm prepping today. Well, maybe I shouldn't have said that because this is going to be short and I was going to add this onto another video. Oh jeez. Okay, so let me give some time to cut that off. And yesterday our power was out for 18 hours, and my goal yesterday was to cook up 2 heads of cabbage, and I didn't get it cooked up yesterday, so today that's what I'm doing. And I wasn't able to get my dishes done, so I did half of them already this morning. Wasn't able to do my daily laundry. I'm doing that now. And it's raining again, but we're taking an hour drive to go window visit our youngest grandson. And we're taking him his drum set that was supposed to be for his birthday. His dad is a drummer, his dad's a guitarist, his other grandfather is a guitarist, and so he's going to no doubt have some musical ability. So I think you remember I got this at Sam's Club on clearance after Christmas, which was great. I think it was like $80 and I got it on clearance for 30-ish, and I wanted it for his birthday party, but unfortunately that had to be canceled. So I'm almost done with the second head of cabbage, and then I'm pretty sure I'm just going to end up doing a freeze dryer load of cabbage. I may cook up some potatoes to put in with these. I may cook up some onions to go with that. I'm not sure. I'm going to have to ask my husband what he wants done with that. But because of our power outage, and it was 18 hours, I didn't take the food out of the freeze dryer because the few days before that we had a power outage, and Fred starts automatically back up, and the power was only off for like 4 or 5 hours that day. But apparently Pennsylvania had some tornadoes touch down and we had 50,000 people without electricity. So that opened up a whole can of worms for me for our pump house. And I have to contact Manifestation of Imagination. I don't know if you know Reed. I'm going to link him here. But he's a really good prepper, and he deals more with outside things. I mean, I'm not saying he doesn't prep inside things, but what I mean when I say outside things is he does solar and electrical things as well. So you could definitely check him out, because he is who I'm going to start asking things about making the pump house function on a generator, which my husband did, but it was only as a pinch effort because our well doesn't work if we lose power. So I want to actually convert it to solar, and I found a solar company. However, they sell entire sets. They want to sell their solar setup with a solar powered pump. We have an electric powered pump. We just need to have a solar setup near the pump house so that it will automatically convert over, or we can unplug it and plug and play type of thing. So that is my goal in the future, and check out Reed if you want. But that's it. Even I can always have this knack for making long videos out of what should be very short. After I'm done cooking up the cabbage, I'm going to add something to it, hopefully get the freeze dryer done, get the dishes. And so today my preps are all inside, even though what I did yesterday was I pulled out the landscape fabric, and that is not a fun job, out of my blueberries right here. And they should be doing a lot better. They had a lot of sun when I planted them here, but then these trees volunteered in through there, and then I planted these big ones here for privacy. So actually, instead of remulching these, I should be moving them, but I really don't have a place to move them to. So they're going to get mulched again, and hopefully this year or maybe next year I will be able to move the blueberries. But that's what I did yesterday, since I couldn't work in the house. And I almost didn't do this because I said, you know what, I'm going to get dirty. And because we don't have water. Now, our neighbors had water. They didn't have power, but they had water because I think I'm one of the only ones here that still lives off of well water. But I thought, I'm not going to have any way to clean up. And then I thought, you know what? Our ancestors did it. So I just washed up in some rainwater. And then my husband came home from getting some wire at our other place where we keep extra stuff. And he actually did jerry rig the well to work off an extension cord. So right there is the relay right there for the pump. So he disconnected the 220 that goes to the house and connected this right there that I'm wiggling down there to that relay, and then made this long extension cord out of 220 right there that he was able to plug into the generator. And yesterday he also stopped in at Harbor Freight which I think he shouldn't have, but he did anyway, and he does wear a mask. But he said he went over there just to see if they had another generator. He wanted to hook more things up than the pump and the 2 refrigerators. But they didn't have any. They sold out of their generators in one day, yesterday, because the power was supposed to be out for quite some time. Now, he only went to our local Harbor Freight. I'm not sure if they all sold out. Had we gone to an area that didn't have tornadoes, that probably wouldn't have happened. I don't know. And then here you see where he connected it to the lawnmower, so you'd have to cut the chain or steal the lawnmower to get the generator. And he's had this generator for a couple of years, and he's satisfied with it. He likes it, so he was actually going to go get another one of these. And I would prefer us to get a solar generator, but I need to look into something like that. I think this is like $400, but you need gasoline, where a solar generator is probably, what, $800 or $900, and you don't need gasoline. Okay. So since the video is already 7 minutes, I guess this will be today's video. And right here are, I showed you the tree order video unboxing, and here are what I did with the trees that I wasn't able to pot up immediately. I healed them in, so I dug in my big mulch pile and just put them in there. It looks like the pine trees may be suffering a little bit. There's the ginkgo and the Osage orange. All the pawpaw have been planted. None of the mulberry have been planted, but I figured I'd save those for last. I got 300. So even if I get a death rate of half, which I know I won't, plus mulberry's pretty hardy, I got 300 of those, but I only have 50 of each of the other plants. So I did plant half of the Osage orange and none of the ginkgo yet. And right here is my cardboard path. There's about 4 layers of cardboard here. You've got to watch doing this, because when it rains, it gets slippery, and then when the wind blows, it blows up. I do have some bricks under that, but that doesn't always work very well. But this will be covered with stone or mulch. Why stone? Maybe because it's close to my wooden barn here, and I don't want mulch too close to the barn because of termite reasons and things. So right here are a few trees that I healed in my little potting wagon. Those are still healed in, I don't know what kind they are. So I was able to check in my entire order, and I had an extra bundle that I believe may be pawpaw. But when I look at the root system, I'm thinking they aren't what I'm used to seeing on a pawpaw. I'm thinking they are extra sugar maples, which kind of made me question, did I misread something else? But I didn't, because everything totaled out correctly. So this is where I do the watering, right here out of this trough. That's not algae, that's actually perlite. It's turning a little green. As it heats up, I'll put a mosquito ring in here as the weather warms up. And here is what I planted, and then I'll, it's potted up, and then I water it final time. And then after that, oh, that sun came out, that feels great. After I have that all potted up, then I just move it over into this area here for what it is. Like these are all my sugar maples that I have to find a place for yet. And I just left them here. I'll move them somewhere. This is elderberry that was volunteer. I dug it up and put it in pots. and it'll grow on. I'll make sure that it gets established in there before I sell that. At this size here, I'll get $5 for that, and I will let it go for $5. Although if it doesn't sell this year, it'll be probably a foot tall, and then it'll go for $10. And you can see something pulled over one of these sugar maples, and that was not the wind. Well, you know what? We had that really bad wind, so one of the tables blew away that my son and grandson used by the bonfire or little campfire right there, and it blew away, so it could have knocked that over. I had to throw it away because it broke. But then here's what I do. These are all the things that I wasn't sure what they are. Got some periwinkle potted up there. These are the plants that came in this year. This is the Eastern Red Cedar, which is Juniperus virginiana. That's what my label says, so I believe it. These are the pawpaw, Asamina triloba, I believe. Right here we've got a yellow raspberry left over from last year that didn't do so well, and it seems to be doing well. I keep these things over here. This isn't where all the stuff is that I offer for sale. This is my personal things and things that aren't really good enough yet that I wouldn't want to buy them, so I don't really offer them for sale. And right here I have, that looks like a hosta coming up, another hosta. And then right in here are all the elderberries that I took cuttings of, and I don't do that very often, but some of them are actually like right there sprouting out. I won't give up on them yet. We'll see. But that's it. So let me see. And so far, here's what the pawpaw flowers are starting to look like. Getting a lot of them on there. That's it, and this one doesn't seem to be getting many, just getting some leaves on there. We'll see how that goes. And here's some arbor vitae that it looks like the deer found in the winter, and some little pine trees that aren't doing so well. They probably need to be put in the ground. Not this one or that one. They've passed on. And here's some of the red peach. Looks like we got some blueberry back there, but those aren't for sale. Those are mine that I bought on clearance at Lowe's last year for like $2 or $3, and I'll plant them as soon as I find a home for them. I'd love to fence this area in here so that the deer don't get in, but deer can jump, so I don't know if I'd just be spitting in the wind or what. And this is the area that I cultivated last year just for selling plants. The sage is coming back. A lot of this is coming back. A lot of it died and won't come back because it was either in too small of a pot or something like that. Here's the aronia berries. They're coming back really nicely. Got some volunteer mint. That's really nice because you can pot that up, and if somebody comes by and, you know, buys some plants or buys a lot of plants, you can just give them some. You know, it's pretty easy to grow. It's volunteers. It's hard to kill, actually. And I warn everybody, only put it where you don't mind, and if there's someplace you don't want to cut, go ahead and leave it grow. Here we go. Lavender. I'm surprised the lavender came back. It was so neglected. What do we have here? More peach? I thought I was out of peach trees. Got plenty. Alrighty. They need weeded and perhaps pruned again. This is my bucket system that I used when I was in a vehicle accident years ago. That's how I actually found YouTube. Didn't even know it existed prior to that. When I had extra plants, I just put them in here. I need to get rid of these buckets. I'm probably going to put them on Craigslist. Even though they're falling apart, that one I wouldn't sell. This one's good. I'll probably just offer these for $5 or $10. You know, for people who just want a bucket garden. There's a lot of people who are into gardening this year. You can tell that by the seed companies and the plant companies that can't keep up. A lot of people are gardening that haven't been gardening, or they're gardening more. So this bucket garden would be great for especially an elderly person who doesn't have a lot of space, or doesn't want to till up their entire garden, excuse me, their entire yard. So these actually work out very well, and they're already made. I was getting some buckets free, but these ones are the ones that I actually paid $5 a bucket for. And although I use them, they're still very functionable. So if they don't crack, I could probably see getting $5 a piece for those. And I mean, especially these cages. These cages, the red ones, are like $3 or $4 each. So I don't have a problem with that. And that's it. That's what I prepped today. And I haven't even started pulling the weeds out of the garden from last year, so it's looking a mess. And it's just too cold and windy still here in southwestern Pennsylvania to get into this. We've had a couple nice warm days, just not too many. All right, everybody, let me know how your garden's doing. If it's all planted, if I'm way behind, or what did you prep today? Be blessed, everyone.